Sissy Spacek, you play Sally, the matriarch of the Rayburn clan in Bloodline, and this very complex family with a lot of secrets. You've done TV work before, but what attracted you to this particular role on this series?
Well, really, I loved the creators. I was a fan of Damages. I was intrigued by the cast. It's a wonderful, wonderful cast. And the opportunity to come in the beginning of a show. I've worked on other television shows before, but never from the very beginning. So you really get to establish your character, and I think you have more freedom.
Early on in the series, Sally's family is very protective of her. They sort of, shield her from certain decisions and situations. But then eventually she does step up and she does invite, directly her prodigal son, Danny, to come home. Do you think her family maybe underestimates her ability to handle these difficult situations and make these decisions?
I think they probably do, but I appreciated all their kindness and attention. But I did think sometimes, why are they worried about me so much? Is there something that I don't know? Something that they know that I don't know.
If you were in Sally's position and you had this complex family history and you had the decision to allow the prodigal son to come home, would you give him that other chance? Is it always family comes first in that sense?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that most parents, I know most mothers, certainly I'm that kind of mother, that you never give up hope for a child. You hope that they're gonna reach their potential, and you give them opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, much to the chagrin of Sally's husband, I have to say.
And your husband on the show is played by Sam Shepard.
Sam Shepard.
And you've worked on a couple of different projects together, I believe. What was it like working with him, as sort of being the parents of this family and working together? Did you know him well before coming
I
onto
knew
the
him
show?
really well, and it was fantastic, and it's so rare that you get to work with somebody that you've known for decades. And I think it added, there was a real comfort level between us. We enjoy each other. I get his sense of humor. I'm not sure he gets mine, but that was really, really wonderful.
One of the important aspects of any kind of family drama of this kind is the cast very much. You have to develop these family bonds that sort of these lived-in bonds that you have to suggest the years that have taken place before this. How did this cast gel on set? Was there like rehearsal time? Was it very quickly that dynamic built?
Well, I remember the first day I met everyone. It was a very hot day, and we were out on an outdoor porch, and I think everybody must have been nervous because everybody was sweating. It was more sweat than it was temperature. It's always awkward when you're meeting people that you're going to work with, especially if they're family, because there's an intimacy that you share and a history that you share with family. So we had to really make tracks and rather quickly try to establish some relationships. We did a lot of touching. That always breaks the ice.
The very first episode, from the very beginning, it's not only a family drama, but it's also a mystery. The show is building to an event that happens later in the near future to this family. How much of the story did you know from the outset when you signed on to the show? Did you know the whole picture, or did you learn it episode by episode?
The details of episode to episode I didn't know, but I had an overview of what was going to happen. But one of the things that's so interesting about these creators, Todd and Glenn Kessler and Daniel Zellman, was that they watched what was going on in dailies, and if they saw something happening that excited them, they would kind of change the direction a little bit of where we were going. So that was exciting. And it's it's a psychological thriller disguised as a family drama.
You mentioned the heat before, and the Florida locale is definitely seems like almost another character in the story. What do you think that being in that place sort of brought out? Like, did it help get into the mindset of these characters and where they are, and get that sense of place?
Well, when I absolutely that it's a character in the film, and it's so beautiful. The water is so blue, and it's very cinematic. The cinematography is incredible, and they're great wide shots, huge, enormous wide shots that you don't see a lot in television. It's not talking heads, and I love that aspect of it. That it just felt like we were doing the movie that never ended. But the beauty of the Keys is that in the daytime, it's this magical, beautiful, sparkling, twinkling place, and at night, it has a really it can have a very scary underbelly, and I think the dichotomy of that was something that the filmmakers loved.
Given the pedigree behind the camera and the impressive cast in front of it, the success of their last show, Damages, there is a chance that this could make an impact at the Emmys in a few months. And you've had your share, of course, of awards attention. You won an Oscar. You've been an Emmy nominee. What have the accolades over the course of your career meant to you?
I think that more than anything, it's just it keeps you moving forward. You feel your work is accepted and appreciated, and I think that particularly in the early years, you feel a member of the club, and that's a nice feeling. It's just like a pat on the back. It's sometimes a great big hug.
And this is Netflix has had success recently with House of Cards and Orange is the New Black. They've been making a big impact in original programming. What are your thoughts on how technology and the internet have sort of opened up these new creative avenues for filmmakers and storytellers and actors like yourself?
It's amazing. It's really amazing. That's why I was so interested in coming on board this project, because there's so much amazing work being done in serial filmmaking. It's an exciting place to be, and who knows what's going to be happening in 20 years? But people have giant televisions, and they have screening rooms. The industry has changed, and the other thing I love about it is there's just so much more work for artists. There are more projects. I think it's all good. But this is really wonderful serial television.